What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Back at y'all with another live stream. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. This video right here comes to you from Paterson, New Jersey. Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. What's famous out of Paterson, New Jersey? Well, there was a movie made back in the late 80s involving the school East Side High. East Side High, starring Morgan Freeman. A lot of greasy things going on in Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of greasy stuff going on.
Go ahead. You got the right guy. Hey. I'm gonna tap, bitch. I'm gonna what? Do it! Fucking playing with you. Go ahead. You got the right guy. Hey. I'm gonna tap, bitch. I'm gonna what? Do it!
That officer right there, his name is Reuben McCausland. He's now fired, ladies and gentlemen, but at the time, nobody knew the things that he was into.
Go ahead. You got the right guy. Hey. I'm gonna tap, bitch. I'm gonna what? Do it! Fucking playing with you. Calm your ass down.
Reuben McCausland. About to get into the print in a second, ladies and gentlemen. Blow this up for y'all a little bit. FBI agents made a startling discovery last year when they seized drug-dealing Paterson police officer. Drug dealing. Notice they said drug dealing. Paterson police officer Reuben McCausland. They got his cell phone, a disturbing video of the cop attacking a suicide patient at a hospital emergency room, federal authorities said. The video became the basis for a new investigation, one that resulted in a criminal charge against McCausland and the arrest of his patrol partner, Roger Then, who recorded the attack, authorities said. Prior to that video being discovered, We did not know about that assault. Assistant U.S. Attorney Raul Agarwal said during McCausland's sentencing in federal court in Newark on Wednesday morning. Calling a disgraced former officer a street hustler, U.S. District Judge William Walls sentenced McCausland to 66 months, more than 5 years, in prison for dealing drugs and assaulting a hospital patient. He is scheduled to start serving his sentence on May 20th. And just so we can get it correct, this is from March 29, 2019. This is not recent, but it's some news to talk about. I wanted to put a spotlight on Paterson, ladies and gentlemen. The judge also ordered McCausland to pay over $32,000 in restitution to the hospital victim who needed facial surgery to repair a broken eye socket. This is the type of piece of shit we got out there, well, had out there, and we still got them out there. It's more piece of shits like him out there. To slap a person so hard that they break his eye socket, ladies and gentlemen. They broke the man's eye socket. He paid over $32,000 in restitution to the hospital victim who needed. I think that second slap was the one that cracked his eye socket. That one right there. I think that was the one that cracked his eye socket. Wham! And he got paid over $32,000 for that. That's how much it cost the officer out of his pocket. He needed facial surgery to repair a broken eye socket and to forfeit the $13,650 that he made in drug sales. $13,650 that he made in drug sales. He had to forfeit that. Wow. Confronted by the FBI with evidence of his drug dealing, McCausland agreed to wear a wire last year to help catch a Paterson couple who was supplying him with heroin pills. It was a couple that was supplying him with heroin pills, and he put a wire on to bust them. I guess that's how he got the 6 years. Okay, the close to 6 years. 66 months. So he ratted just to get less time. Cold-blooded piece of shit. Confronted by the FBI with evidence of his drug dealing, McCausland agreed to wear a wire last year to help catch a Paterson couple who was supplying him with heroin pills. McCausland's work as an informant led to the federal drug conviction last year of Juan Vidal and Cameron Rojas on charges they distributed thousands of heroin pills in Paterson, authorities said. But McCausland refused to cooperate with the FBI's investigation of the other Paterson cops targeted in the federal probe, noted the judge. Because you know why? Because they might kill him. The cops might kill him if you tell on them. When I say they operate like a gang, that's exactly what they do. They are the gang, ladies and gentlemen. They are the gang. I'm speaking about the police force in your town. They are the gang, the number one gang. You can't fuck with them. Meanwhile, minutes after McCausland's sentencing concluded, another accused Paterson cop, Udi Ramos, and we're going to get into him in a little bit. Udi Ramos appeared in a courtroom across the street for his arraignment. Ramos last week was charged in a 9-count indictment accusing him of making illegal traffic stops and shaking down occupants for money. Ramos declined to comment as he left the court building. His lawyer, Miles Feinstein, said Ramos is innocent and plans to take the case to trial. Okay. Authorities have accused Ramos of conspiring with 4 other Paterson police officers in the shakedown stops. They had a whole thing going on in Paterson, ladies and gentlemen. They were pulling people over, threatening them with arrest, threatening that their life would be all fucked over in exchange for a couple dollars. And they knew who they were targeting as well. They weren't just targeting no poor folks because they knew they wasn't going to get nothing from them. They can't get blood from a rock. They knew who they was pulling over. They were pulling people over who had money and had no problems passing off some money to get up out of an arrest. Constitution violation all the way. Court records say 2 of the officers in the alleged conspiracy listed as confidential witnesses have agreed to cooperate with authorities in exchange for a break on the charges against them. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. I see all y'all. Love all y'all. Thank you for joining in with me. But Feinstein emphatically said Ramos is one of those confidential witnesses. My client is not a cooperating defendant or a cooperating witness, the lawyer said. And then it snowballed. During McCausland's sentencing, Walls asked the 27-year-old former cop why he committed his crimes. McCausland said he was just 21 years old when he joined the police force. So who thought is that? That's the police force fault. I was afraid that people would say that I was a success, that I forgot where I came from, McCausland said. So I kept my friends. One of those friends made him a drug proposition, McCausland said. I just saw it as a shortcut. The convicted cop said it started off as something really small and it snowballed into something else. Walls talked about the lack of humanity in McCausland's assault on the hospital patient. Video recordings of which were shown in court during the sentencing. One video taken by a hospital security camera shows McCausland punch a man in a wheelchair in a crowded emergency room waiting area at St. Joseph University Medical Center. The second video was taken by then McCausland's police partner after hospital security staff moved the patient to a private room, federal authorities said. McCausland and the patient are arguing when the man calls the cop a bitch. When McCausland steps closer to the hospital bed, looming over the man, the patient says, "Do it." The cop then forcefully slaps the man across the face 2 times. "Calm your ass down," McCausland says. During Wednesday's hearing, McCausland said he lost his temper after the man allegedly threw a box of medical gloves that hit him. Wow. That's crazy. I'm going to play this. I'm going to go over the comments.
You're a bitch. Oh, yes, I am. Right here. You see my cheek? Go ahead. Yeah, bitch. Oh, what? Do it!
Shout out Scrubzilla, Renetta Williams, Beverly Robinson, Rolak. Beverly said good, he got time. The audacity pisses me off. I know that's right. Shout out Deanna Latrey. Spider-Man.
Yeah, bitch. Do it.
Scrubzilla said he don't remember seeing that. He said he remembers seeing that, but he don't remember when that they broke his eye socket. Yeah, that's deep right there. Definitely broke his eye socket. Shout out to John Brown's Ghost. He says open hand or not, those are some brutal strikes. They were. And I bet you they stung. On top of cracking his eye socket. The Queen, Renetta Williams, all the way from Wynn, Arkansas. Queen said, look at that bastard laughing. Sorry ass. That's who he is. His name is Reuben McCausland. That's the officer who struck this suicidal man in the hospital. That's his name. Child's Perfect Century sister. TN Accountability. One here in East Tennessee had 44 felonies and caused the man to need surgery from a cavity search on the side of the road. Daniel Wilkie, Hamilton County, Tennessee. They got a lot of things going on in Paterson. Not only did we see footage of him striking the man in the hospital, but he has a habit of striking other hospital patients. I can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot make this up. This is footage of him striking another hospital patient. Just in case you missed it. He's in a wheelchair. Reuben McCausland, he's fired now. He was an officer out of Paterson, New Jersey. Shout out to Denise Speeds, Brenda Black. Sorry if I missed anyone. I'm just as into it as you are. This may be the second incident on footage of him striking a hospital patient. This right here just may be the first incident that's on footage of him striking a hospital patient. But he has history of doing this. Brenda Black says demonic. I agree. He's sick and twisted and he gets something out of, hurting people. That's crazy. Salted Cedar. Yes, this is Reuben McCausland. He was an officer in Paterson, New Jersey, and he's serving time now. Only 66 months because he cooperated with another case. The suppliers of the drugs that he was selling, he wore a wire and turned them in. So he got 66 months for selling drugs and doing this shit right here. Shout out to Jason Arturo Lopez Padilla. My man. Jason says, you know what makes me even more mad? Is that the cops had the nerve to cry about that. The left wants to defund the police. That's Jason's opinion. Shout out to Jason Arturo Lopez Padilla. Shout out to Anna Katz. Yeah, they got a lot of shit going on in Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff going on in Paterson. Okay, so moving on to Yudy Ramos. Let's not forget about Yudy Ramos. I mentioned him earlier in the article as well. Yudy Ramos violating civil rights at traffic stops and shaking down people.
While you search me, I don't have to put my phone down. I can hold my phone while you search me. I can hold my phone while you search me. This ain't no gun. You
put your hands right there.
All right.
Put your hands.
But I need the answer, just like you need my ID.
How you just come to the car and say license and registration, get out? That don't make no sense.
Random stop.
Random stop?
You can't do random stop.
Like I said, random stop.
All right.
Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
What's your badge number?
4825.
Hold up. I'm gonna put it down.
Y'all motherfucker, y'all beat as hell. That's what y'all doing. And I know you just wasted your time. You mad, ain't you? Keep it G, you mad.
This is footage of Udi Ramos. He's not a police officer in Paterson neither. This is Paterson, New Jersey, and this is more additional footage of another police officer from out of Paterson, Udi Ramos. I mentioned him earlier in the script. He's included with violating civil rights of people who are stopping in the street and shaking down as well. He admitted to it. In exchange, he got 66 months. I'm sorry, that was the person earlier. Udi Ramos, he agreed to doing time because he admitted to violating constitutional rights. They were shaking down people and taking money from them.
You mad? I know you mad because you just hopped the car for nothing. How you, nigga? You was riding this way. We was coming this way. You fucking turned around. How you doing your job? It was 2 cars in front of you, nigga. Fuck you. How you doing your job? You ain't doing your job. You ain't doing shit, nigga. You just want to be a nuisance. That's it. You ain't doing nothing. You just want to be a nuisance. This is what it is, though, man. You guys got to do what you got to do. Leave it at that.
Here you go, right there.
You just want.
That was the shakedown right there. That was the message that he was sending. Like, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. Let me take it back real quick.
This is what it is, though, man. You guys got to do what you got to do. Leave it at that.
He said, y'all guys got to do what y'all got to do, and we'll leave it at that. So that's the shakedown right there, because this is what he went to jail for pulling people over, shaking them down for cash exchange.
Yeah, he just want to be a dickhead. I know you mad. You mad, nigga. It's 3 niggas. We all got jobs. What you pulling the car over for, nigga? What the fuck is you doing? You mad as hell. You mad. You see young niggas shine and listen to music. You get mad. That's that racist shit because you Spanish and me black, nigga.
Jay Burns J. Shout out to Jay Burns J. Said Paterson is ran by corrupt immigrants. Wow.
Playing the music loud, nigga. We got ticket money. That is stupid. Niggas got ticket money and we booming this shit. We dogging this shit, nigga.
Shout out Brian Holler. Shout outs resistant level is futile.
If you can't see me, that's when you pull me up. You can see me. You see my dread. You see me. That's the good thing. No, I'm just letting you know, boss. I'm just letting you know. I'm right here, pull it over.
Udi Ramos up there walking in circles. He out there walking in circles. He's the negotiator.
I hate this thing. This nigga always fucking with us. Every time we come to my hood, yo. Every single time we come to my project, this nigga fucking us.
Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, he didn't. You know what he said? He said, get out the car. He never told you why you got pulled over. He said, get out the car. Nah, ain't no fucking random stop, nigga. You hit a U-turn for a random stop when there was 2 cars in front of you? Stupid ass out there, nigga.
And that's footage of Udi Ramos, who admitted to authorities that he was shaking down people on the side of the road, pulling them over during traffic stops, shaking them down. Apologize for getting it twisted earlier. I got him a little confused real fast with Ruben McCausland. He's the one who received 66 months for striking a man and selling drugs, being caught selling drugs, and he wore a wire to get a lesser sentence. He received 66 months for selling drugs and striking 2 hospital patients. He wore a wire to turn in his suppliers. But What else we got going on in Paterson, man? Here we go right here with Yudi Ramos. Yeah, Yudi Ramos was part of, I think, about 6 officers. This Yudi right here trying to conduct a shakedown. I don't know if this was successful, but he definitely tried to conduct a shakedown.
While you search me, I don't have to put my phone down. I can hold my phone while you search me. I can hold my phone while you search me. This ain't no gun. You put your hands right there.
Paterson police officer admits conspiring to violate civil rights, using excessive force, and filing a false police report. The city of Paterson police officer today admitted conspiring with other officers to violate civil rights of individuals in Paterson, using unreasonable and excessive force against individuals in Paterson, and filing a false police report to conceal his criminal activity. Yudi Ramos, 32, of Paterson, New Jersey, pleaded guilty before U.S. District Judge Catherine S. Hayden in Newark Federal Court to counts 1 and 7 of an indictment against him, charging him with conspiracy to violate individual civil rights and filing a false police report. Ramos also pleaded guilty to an information charging him with using unreasonable and excessive force in violation of individual civil rights.
You doing nothing. You just want to be a nuisance. This is what it is, man. You guys got to do what you got to do. Leave it at that.
That's Ramos right there. According to documents filed.
I know you mad.
According to documents filed. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. In this and other cases and statements made in court, Ramos, along with other Paterson police officers, including Jonathan Bustillos, Daniel Pent, Matthew Torres, Frank Toledo, and others, stopped and searched motor vehicles without justification and stole cash and other items from the occupants. Ramos and the other officers also stopped and searched individuals on the streets of Paterson and illegally took their money. He and other officers also arrested individuals in Paterson, seized cash from them during the arrest, and split the cash proceeds among themselves. To cover up their criminal activity, Ramos and his fellow officers then filed false police reports. Ramos admitted to the following instances of illegal conduct. 2017, Ramos and Pence stopped and searched a vehicle in Paterson. They stole approximately $10,000 from the passenger. Wow. December 2017, Ramos and Bustillos stopped and searched an individual on a street corner in Paterson and stole $1,000 from him. Ramos and Toledo arrested an individual. During the arrest, they stole $1,000. Wow, they was going rogue. That's crazy. Wow. Shout out to Brian Howler. That's crazy. Torres and Ramos conducted a vehicle stop in Paterson. They searched the vehicle, the driver and the passenger, who had approximately $3,100 in marijuana. Ramos told the passenger that instead of charging the passenger with distribution of marijuana, they could take $500 from the passenger and had the passenger sign a piece of paper. Ramos then purportedly placed the call. Wait a minute, man. Let me put this video back. This is Ramos right here. This is the video of Ramos. Not too much of him talking. He comes through, trying to send a little message of negotiation. But it seems like he's trying to conduct the shakedown, but he's trying to let everything else go through first, as far as the other officers are, I guess, trying to process them, get them in the system, lock them up or whatever, see whatever they can find on them. But regardless of the fact, he's accused of shaking people down on the side of the road. So he fined $3,100 and he says, "Give me $500 and sign a piece of paper." Ramos then purportedly placed a call to a superior and told the passenger that the superior officer said it had to be $800. So instead of the $500, they raised it up to $800. That wasn't enough for him. They made a phone call and said they needed $8. That's crazy. Ramos took out a piece of white paper, wrote something on it, and told the passenger to sign it. Ramos and Torres released the driver and passenger and shared the stolen cash proceeds. They did not report the stop and search of the vehicle and its occupants or the cash seizure to the Paterson Police Department. And the list goes on and on. Look, I could be reading for days. It goes on and on. On February 2017, that was the $10,000 right there he stole. Okay, after that was February 2018. Ramos and Bustillos stopped and searched a vehicle and detained the driver and passenger of the vehicle. They stole a bag containing approximately $1,800 from the car. Then they agreed to meet at Peach and Plum Streets in Paterson, a location with no camera, where Bustillos passed a portion of the illegally seized cash to Ramos through the window of Bustillos' police car. Yo, this is gang activity right here. Hold on for a minute. I'm going to read some more of this shit. This is crazy. Bustillos and Ramos did not report to the Paterson Police Department the fact that they had stopped and searched the vehicle, detained and searched its occupants, and taken cash, all without legal justification. In March 2008, Ramos and Torres stopped and searched the vehicle without legal basis. The occupants of the encounter filmed the encounter and posted the video to Instagram. They asked Ramos his basis for conducting the vehicle stop, and Ramos responded, "Random stop." He just said random stop. Ramos did not locate any cash inside the vehicle and departed the scene without taking anything. They must have been broke. He couldn't get nothing from them, so he just said, "All right, go ahead, random stop." While on official duty, Ramos also routinely used unreasonable and excessive force in his encounters with individuals in Paterson, causing them bodily harm. Okay, I guess this is where it gets juicy at. Ramos and other officers routinely deliver a running tax to individuals they arrested. If an individual ran from them, Ramos and others would tax the individual by striking the individual multiple times, causing bodily injury. Wow. That is crazy. They was really out there running them streets on some gang shit. January 20th, 2015, Ramos and Pitt received a call regarding loud music coming from a vehicle on Doremus Avenue in Paterson. They approached the individual in the vehicle, removed them, and began punching and kicking him. The individual suffered bodily injury, including eye injuries, as a result of Ramos and Pitt's excessive force. Jeez. Paterson, all this is in Paterson, New Jersey. All of it is in Paterson, New Jersey. The subject is Udi Ramos. That's his name. Officer, ex-officer from out of Paterson, New Jersey. September 2016. Hold up, did I read that one? They approached an individual in the vehicle, removed him, and began punching and kicking him. The individual suffered bodily injury, including eye injuries, as a result of Ramos' intense excessive force. Okay. September 2016. Ramos placed a handcuffed individual in the backseat of his police car without a seatbelt to transport the individual to Paterson Police Department headquarters. Ramos then depressed the brakes on his police car and forced the individual to slam his head against the divider in the back seat of the police car, a tactic known as brake checking. Brake checking. I just called them being dickheads. That's what I called it. Being assholes. After the individual slammed his head on divider, Ramos jokingly said, "What happened, man? You gotta put your seatbelt on." Ramos recorded a video of this incident. Wow. I wish I could find that video. They say he recorded it was in his phone. That's public record. It was in his phone. On March 2nd, 2017, Ramos and Bustillos were dispatched to a car regarding stolen property located in a vehicle in a parking garage. The individual had stolen the property. Individual 1 was sitting in the vehicle. The individual whose property had been stolen, individual 2, was angry and told Ramos and Bustillos that he wanted to take a swing at individual 1. Ramos and Bustillos allowed him to do so. While Ramos and Bustillos watched, individual 2 punched individual 1, who fell to the ground and hit his head, causing bodily injury. Bustillos filmed the whole encounter. Yo, where is this footage at? I got to find this footage. Wow. Shout out to everybody in chat, man. I apologize for not paying attention to this chat. I'm reading all this stuff. This is crazy. I didn't know it was going down in Paterson like that a couple years ago. Wow. The conspiracy to violate civil rights and the deprivation of civil rights charges each carry a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. The false records count carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. The maximum fine for each count is $250,000. Sentencing is scheduled for January 8th, 2020. Bustillos pleaded guilty in December 2018 to conspiracy to deprive individuals their civil rights and to extortion under color of official right. Torres pleaded guilty in May 2019 to conspiring to deprive individuals of their civil rights and to filing a false police report. The sentencing is scheduled for November 18, 2019. Toledo pleaded guilty in July 2019 to conspiring to deprive individuals of their civil rights, to using unreasonable and excessive force against individuals in Paterson, and to filing a false police report. The sentencing is scheduled for October 22nd, 2019. So I want to see how much time he got. Ramos. How much time did Yudi Ramos get? If y'all want to read this, y'all can go to I'll leave that up there if y'all want to type that or write that down or whatever. If y'all want to read the rest of this article. When y'all can redball it back, this is the title of it. It's from the United States Attorney's Office, District of New Jersey. Yeah, they acting crazy in Paterson. Real crazy. One more thing. This is what other officers do on the street in Paterson. I mean, they all around the city. It's acting crazy.
He can't understand. He's dead.
Shout out to Renetta Williams. Have a good day. Jay Burns J. Appreciate it, bro.
This is what they doing to a deaf man. This is what they doing to a deaf man.
This is how they take care of a handicap in public. This man is deaf. You got the camera lady saying it. This is how they take care of a deaf man. This is crazy right here. And all this is out of Paterson, New Jersey. All the footage I've shown you has been from out of Paterson, New Jersey thus far.
This is what they doing to a deaf man. This is what they doing to a deaf man.
Shout out Standing Tall, 710.
This man is deaf and he has a messed up leg, and this is what they're doing to him.
Y'all stay back there. Get back, mushy. That's my y'all.
I mean, look how disorganized they are. Look how they look sloppy. They got no control of anything. It shouldn't even be like that. They shouldn't even be on top of a deaf man like that. It's crazy.
They just maced him.
Why is he macing him?
Oh, he punched him in the head.
Paterson, New Jersey.
He punched him in the head. He punched him. Look, police brutality. Police brutality. You going to jail.
They got the man's hands all down.
Police brutality.
He's deaf.
He just punched him. He just
This is
punched him
in
in the
Paterson,
head.
New Jersey.
Oh,
None of the police
who did
officers
that?
none of them are
They just punched him
intervening.
in the head. They just punched
Look.
him in the head.
Look at this.
They just punched him in the head. I'm all right, Tiara. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Shout out Scrubzilla. He says Beauty, he faces up to 20 years in a false report case and up to 10 years each on 2 civil rights counts.
Yeah.
Shout out Jonathan Burks. Paterson, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. The tyranny in Paterson, New Jersey.
They just maced him.
Why is he macing him?
Oh, he punched him in the head. He punched him in the head. He punched him. Look, police brutality. Police brutality. You going to jail. Police brutality. He just punched him. He just punched him in the head. He just, oh, who did that? He just punched him in the head. They just punched him in the head. They just punched him in the head. I'm all right, Tiara. not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Paterson, New Jersey. I did not know they was going through all this, especially with their little clique a couple years ago. Ruben McClausens and Judy Ramos and all the rest of the crooked ass police officers. I didn't know this was going down. That's crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I think it was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah. This was interesting right here. Out of Baton Rouge, ladies and gentlemen. This was very interesting. Y'all remember this, right? I think y'all remember this. I covered this. Here we go.
Rouge strip searching a 16-year-old and his older brother during a traffic stop in broad daylight. That officer is now under investigation, and we warn you, the video is hard to watch. Here's CBS's Jeff Begayes.
There's at least 3 or 4 people in the car.
Within minutes after a traffic stop on New Year's Day in 2020,
So this was about a traffic stop with the police officers in Baton Rouge pulling these 2 black boys' pants down. Not only their pants down, but their underwear, exposing their privates in public. And I got a twist to it as well. I'm not just giving y'all the update, but there's also a twist to it as well. Additional information to it.
Clarence Green is standing in the street behind an SUV with his pants down and his underwear exposed.
Hey, stop. Come on, man. You can't do that, bro.
I can't.
The officer groping him in public in a search for drugs. And then Green's 16-year-old brother is searched in the same manner. Come on. Thomas Frampton is the Green family attorney.
I think what's captured in the video bears a closer resemblance to sexual assault than it does to constitutional policing. The officers involved were clearly outside the bounds of anything that the Supreme Court has said is permissible for law enforcement officers to do.
Later, body camera footage showed.
Shouts to boiled corruption. I definitely can't give you right now the link to the video I did. I have no idea. I gotta dig all the way into the crates for that. But I also have been trying to look for the body cam video of what I showed months ago. And I can't find it as well on the internet. I don't know what's up with that, but I can't find it at all.
Was an officer entering the Green family home with his gun drawn and without a warrant. Officers did find a gun in the search, and Clarence Green ended up spending 5 months in jail until a judge ordered his immediate release, after determining that officers demonstrated a serious and wanton disregard for the defendant's constitutional rights.
You think I'm playing with you? I will you up.
Tonight, the Baton Rouge Police Department told us that it had conducted an internal investigation, but the officers involved in the incident remain on the job.
We're not going to dirty your clothes.
It will be up to the police chief to decide whether the officers will face any sort of discipline.
I think there's a lot of work there to be done by the chief of the Baton Rouge Police Department to determine if policies and procedures were followed. If they were not, then disciplinary action should follow.
Nor it turns out the police reports in the investigation had been revised nearly a dozen times. The family did file a federal lawsuit but settled for $35,000.
Jeff Begayes, thank you.
Not only that was crazy right there that there was a settlement for 35. I'm not going to speak on no more about that. That was those people's choice. But that was crazy to my ears to hear that. But not only that, separate of that, okay? The source of this video, the reason how it got on the internet, period, was from a law professor. Dig this. Dig what happened. Baton Rouge violated the First Amendment by trying to imprison a professor for sharing body camera footage of what we just seen when the police officers were exposing those two young men's genitals out in public. That was crazy. But dig this. To try to even cover this bull crap up even more, take a look at this. Or listen. The city of Baton Rouge tried to throw a law professor in prison after he shared publicly available body camera footage showing police officers strip searching a minor in public. On Friday, a federal judge ruled that this violated the First Amendment. That footage, originally shared with reason, was captured at a 2020 traffic stop. Baton Rouge Police Department, BRPD officers cuffed 23-year-old Clarence Green and his 16-year-old brother, pulling down their pants on the sidewalk to look for drugs. Officer Troy Lawrence Jr. and then Sergeant Ken Kamalo subsequently went to the family's home and searched it, weapons drawn without a warrant. When the story sparked considerable outrage, the government zeroed in on Thomas Frampton, the attorney who represented the Greens and disseminated the clips, which were already a part of the public record. During a May press conference convened to address the video, East Baton Rouge Parish Attorney Anderson Andy Dotson III notified Frampton that the government would seek to hold him in contempt of court, which carried up to 6 months in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. They tried to jail and imprison the person who made the video public, which is a law professor. This shit is crazy. In measuring the significance of Frampton's alleged criminal activity, the court finds under the circumstances of this case, there was no criminal activity, writes Judge John W. DeGraveles in a 92-page opinion published Friday. Frampton released a video that was in the public domain, belonged to his clients, and he released it on the instructions and with the knowledge of his clients. This proves, shout out to Jonathan Nicola, what's going on? This proves that police can charge you with whatever they want to charge you with. Doesn't mean it's going to stick, but it can inconvenience you for at least 72 hours. This is crazy. The footage of Kamalo's warrantless home entry might be an even bigger headache for the BRPD at the public strip search. This was his third such search in under 3 years. He has since been demoted, but he's still with the department. BRPD officers' contempt for the constitutional rights of everyday Baton Rouge citizens like the Green family is jaw-dropping. Frampton declared in a public statement, but then you see how the lawyers who defend and enable these officers act, and it makes a lot more sense. Sadly, it's the taxpayers who will end up paying for their misdeeds. Indeed, the Green family reached a $35,000 settlement with the city after Clarence spent 5 months in jail. The government moved to dismiss his case against him, and a federal judge agreed, but not without first bench slapping the state for actions that could be criminal. That old 35, that's like screeching noise in my ear, that 35,000 situation. That situation should have been took all the way because that was indecent exposure on a police officer's part. They had those two young black men out there exposed, their private parts out in the public exposed. That was crazy. Somebody should have, counseled them more and said, hey, you might want to take this all the way. But everybody has their own individual choice, and I respect that as well. Such an intrusion an abject violation of the protections afforded by the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution, which protects citizens against unwarranted governmental intrusions in their homes, may justifiably be considered to be a trespass subject to prosecution under Louisiana law, wrote Judge Brian A. Jackson of the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Louisiana. The city of Baton Rouge insists that it was Frampton who violated the law by disseminating the video, but it was the city that put that footage into the public record in the first place. Right. It was the city who put it in there because it was a public official who was acting in their official capacity, doing what they did by exposing those boys. Whatever they do is public. Whatever a police officer do is public. And that's why they said it was the city that put that footage into the public record in the first place by having the body cam. It was his own body cam. D. Graveles thinks this was never really about prosecuting someone for breaching the law. Instead, he says it was about revenge and skirting accountability. The record is replete with evidence. This is from Reason. I want to read that yourselves, y'all can, but yep, it's a wrap. That's all I got. Took me all morning trying to put it together. There's no juice out there. It dries up from time to time. But when the juice comes out, you can come to the Resistance channel and check it out. Appreciate everybody. Shout outs Character Matters. Leanna Latrey. Private 9. Brenda Black. Resistant level is futile. Scrubzilla. Jonathan Nicola. Jake Burns J. John Brown's Ghost. Denial. Miss Resistance. Appreciate y'all. Netta Williams, the Queen, all the way from Wynn, Arkansas. Perfect Sense Resistor. Scrubzilla. Nick Potts. Loca Resistor, Weymouth, UK. Y'all be safe out there. Peace. Hit the likes. Everybody about to get killed out here. Like it for everybody.